Hi. So, welcome to my blog about it's about my jiu-jitsu experience and continuing experiences and my training and workouts that I do. And I thought that I should probably say hello. I am Teresa, and I am currently a blue belt in Jiu Jitsu, which is shocking. I feel like I should probably still be a white belt, but I have been at it for almost 2 years, so I guess it's normal. Um, and I am over 50, so there's really not a lot of resources for women who decide on a combat sport at my age. So I thought since I'm doing this, I might as well be a resource, if that makes sense. And I have already gone through, I think, kind of a lot in the past 2 years. I'm going to show you some pictures. Um, I've always been athletic as far as working out goes, but my body has, changed, gone through a lot of different variations. And you're going to get some pictures of that. This is William. He is not camera shy at all. He is one of my babies. And cat lovers unite, right? So let me say, okay, so after the COVID shutdowns ended, I was, tired of working out at home by myself, and I had already fallen in love with boxing. But as much as I enjoy it and I enjoy it as a workout, I wanted to actually spar. And I had no sparring partners. Usually I was the only girl in the entire gym. And, it was too rare to find anyone who, who was appropriate to spar with me. So then COVID, then I don't know, am I allowed to say that on YouTube? I see people avoiding it all the time, so I'm not sure what's up with that. But anyway, that happened, and when it ended, I was looking for something I could do that was fighting, but that also always had an opponent. So I didn't know anything about jujitsu really, except for that it was grappling and there was always going to be, you had to have someone against you or it was just an impossible thing. So I looked up a couple of gyms in my area, and the first one that responded to me, the professor there was really, really cool and nice. So I went in, and it was intriguing and completely foreign, the whole thing. Like, you think you're close to someone when you're boxing because you're like kind of sweating on each other and you're within this range, but when you're grappling, you are up against them. You're a whole self. It's just this, it's a lot to get, it was a lot to get my brain over. But, I did it. And to this day, I wear a lot of stuff. You can wear long sleeve rash guards, which are the shirts, the stretchy shirts, and like leggings. They're also called spats underneath your gi, which is the name for the karate outfit, I learned. So that's the looser pants and the jacket that goes over it. And then you have your belt that ties the whole thing together. It's a lot of rectangles, basically. So you have many layers of clothes between yourself and the other people, which is nice. It's reassuring in that atmosphere, especially when you're new like I was. And even now, I like it. Even when I train no-gi, I'm still the one wearing the long everything. And yes, you can see I have bruises because training, it happens. Um, so I started, And of course, I'm completely, you know, completely terrible at it. I have no idea what's going on. I have no wrestling background, no martial arts, nothing except for like a couple of years of boxing training, but never having an opponent, right? So the people instructing me, when the professor wasn't there, usually at that particular gym, when he would teach the class, but then he would delegate to pair up with the brand new people, more experienced members of the gym. So I had certain members who were experienced and were so great and really patient with me. And and since I'm not naturally athletic, you would have to like put my hand, here's where your hand goes, here's where the other hand goes, here's where your legs go, and here's how your weight needs to be distributed. I really had to have, and still have to have everything really spelled out. Although now I have an idea of what's going on, the mechanics of everything, so that it's easier. It did take a while though, but I fell in love. I really like it, and I knew that I was getting better, and I could sort of tell that my professor, I just had this feeling like he wanted to promote me because I was getting stripes, and he was very encouraging, and he was very into competing. And I thought, if I'm going to compete, I want to do this at a white belt beginner level. So I, went to the website to where the competitions were, and I started looking at how it worked. And the way that it does is they have divisions. It's a weight class sport, which is very important because 200 pounds versus not 200 pounds is a big deal when you're on top of the other person. And I guess in most other weight class sports too. So, unfortunately, at that time, would have been in the super heavy. I was 20 pounds over the heavyweight category. And super heavy means that that's just it. Everyone over. So it was 175 pounds, I believe. And you weigh in with your gi. So I'm like, okay, so I'm assuming my gi is somewhere around 4 or 5 pounds, right? So I'm looking for 170. Well, I did not weigh 170. I weighed 191. Yeah. And when I decided this, it was like in March. And the the tournament was going to be in July. And I'm like, all right, I have to lose 20 pounds, right? So I did. I downloaded MyFitnessPal and I, put in my goal, and I was, wanted it to be slow because I had to be strong too at the same time. I couldn't just lose it. I had to lose fat, not muscle too. So I did that, and I'm working out a lot the whole time, doing cardio and weightlifting and training 5 times a week, 6 times a week, easily. These long marathon training sessions that my professor advocated to do. And it was really hard. I mean, I was getting crushed. Even though I was heavy, I was not strong. And obviously, as a female, these guys were just running all over me. But I was getting better, and I was getting better than some of the girls, which is good because that's who I was going to be competing against. So I got more confident, and I dropped the weight. Like the first 10 pounds went so fast that it almost makes me wonder if I was just carrying bloat around. And then the next 10 were pretty fast too. It wasn't terrible, but it was a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I record, and to this day, I record everything that goes in my mouth, and I train, I work out doing jujitsu, and I work out at the gym, which is what this blog is going to be about. So that I can look back on this one day when I have achieved, hopefully, you know, the my ultimate fitness goal, which is you never really achieve it. You always just move the goalposts, right? But it's the journey. Um, so anyway, I'll look back at this and think how naive and optimistic I was, possibly. Um, and great. Now I kind of lost track of where I was going. Well, I think maybe I've talked long enough, and I am going to have some pictures and talk about them. And I'm new at doing this, so we will see how it turns out. And if it's a disaster, well, that's okay because I'm probably the only person who's going to see this. So let us proceed. Okay, fat picture. Yep. Yeah. So you can pretty much see where my weight it was held. I'm training here, getting ready for my big competition debut. We had some seminars, and yeah, I met some famous Jiu Jitsu dudes, which was fun. And I lost that tournament, competed again, and yeah, now here we are.